Hey everybody, welcome to American Studies 300, Introduction to American Popular Culture. This is a little introductory video on how to get started and be successful in this class. We're going to take a look at the class page on Canvas and explain how you navigate that. We're going to look at the syllabus and we're going to talk about important assignments you're going to be expected to complete over this summer session. So let's get started. All right. First up, me. I'm Matt Haskins. I'm going to be your instructor for this course. I've been teaching at Cal State Fullerton for over 20 years. I've been teaching this particular class for over 20 years. Here's my email here, mhaskins@fullerton.edu. If you have any questions, please reach out, get a hold of me. The syllabus. I'm going to show you where the syllabus is on the class page on Canvas. The syllabus is your friend. It contains all the vital information and important dates that you're going to need to complete assignments by. So refer to the syllabus often. It is your friend. Class announcement. I will send out class announcements throughout the course of our session. You should have already received one of them. I sent an email out, I don't know, maybe about 10 days ago, telling you the books that we're going to be reading for this class. If you did not get that email, go back and look in your spam folder in your campus email. It's probably in there. It was sent there. You're going to want to make sure you're getting your announcements from me through the email. Go back, look at your spam folder, check. If you see that, make sure those emails start going to your priority email. I'll give you updates on assignments. I will give you reminders when you need to turn things in. If there's ever any changes in the class, I will let you know through announcements. You can also check announcements on the class page. I'll show you where that is there at the very top of the class page. So you can either check announcements through Canvas, but you will also be getting them in emails. The books we are going to be reading in this class. They are all required. You need to get them all. You need to read them all. Okay. Normally I use 4 books for this class. Apparently the bookstore was having a hard time getting enough copies of the first book that we're using. So good news for you guys, we're not going to read that book. We're only going to read 3 books. And also helpfully, it was the first book we were going to read. So our first unit is going to be on silent movies. We will have no book for that. I'll talk about that more when we look at the class page on Canvas. The other 3 books are required. Louis Ehrenberg's Swingin' the Dream, Big Band Jazz, and the Rebirth of American Culture. You can get that book with physical copies. I believe Amazon also provides a digital copy of that book if you're interested in that. Brad Wright's book, Comic Book Nation, and Susan Douglas's book, Where the Girls Are. Those are the books we're going to be reading. So if you haven't already ordered those books, get on it. This is a summer session. It's real short. So make sure you get those books in time for you to be able to complete assignments where we're going to be using those. Another component of our class is going to be class discussion. Each week you will answer 2 prompts based on material that we're going over in class. The first one is going to be due this Friday, and then the second one is going to be due Sunday, always before midnight. In the following weeks, we're going to, the first answer or this first response will be due on Thursday, and then Sunday. The reason the first week we're doing Friday is because the 4th of July. We're getting a late jump on this classes. We're not going to have anything on Monday because of the 4th of July. All right. There are 2 components to answering the discussion prompt. One is you will make an initial response to the prompt. That'll get you half credit on the discussion for that particular one. Then you will respond to a classmate. If you haven't responded yet, you won't see anybody else's responses. You don't see responses until you answer the prompt. After you answer the prompt with your initial response, then your fellow students' responses will come up. You are required to also respond to a classmate's answer. So getting full credit on discussion has two components to it. First part, for each of the discussion prompts, there are 10 points available. You get 5 points for answering the initial response and 5 points for answering, responding to a classmate. Okay. Sometimes students get a little confused because if you respond initially to the prompt and then maybe you wait a couple days, which is totally fine, before responding to a classmate, and I grade your initial response, in the grade book it's only going to say 5 of 10 points. And sometimes students will email me and ask, what did I do wrong? I thought I did a good job on it. You didn't do anything wrong. You get 5 points for your initial response. So if you got 5 points, that means you got full credit for that. And then you get another 5 points when you respond to a classmate for a total of 10 points. All right. So don't freak out if you see initially you only got 5 of 10. That's probably because you just answered the prompt and haven't responded to a classmate yet. I cannot emphasize this enough. Discussion points are easy points. Make sure you're getting this done. Over the course of the session, there are going to be 8 discussion prompts. Make sure you get full credit on all of them. Okay? Don't wait, don't delay. There's no turning them in late. You have to get to those done by the deadline. The purpose of a discussion post is that we're all looking at each other's answers and we're interacting with one another. So the idea of you answering a discussion question a week late doesn't make any sense. We've moved on. We're on to other things. Okay. I lay out in the How to Get Started module in this class, I'll show that to you, expectations about responding to the discussion forum. Your answers are, 2, 3, 4, 5 sentences. That's it. Nothing really big with dealing with these discussion questions. Often, most of them are simply response questions. I'm asking you to respond to something that we've learned. What do you think? Or bring it into the contemporary. We learned about this thing in the past. Now, how do you think that compares to what's going on today? The discussion questions often don't require much specialized knowledge. Take a look at them, answer them. They're easy points. Make sure you are not missing them. Now, why might a student lose points on the discussion? Well, you do a particularly half-assed job. All right. If you give a thoughtless response, like you're just firing it off real quick at the last second, that comes through, you're going to lose some points. Also, the discussion forum is a university assignment, so treat it as such. You're not sending a text message to your friends. Use good spelling, use good grammar, use complete sentences with punctuation. Start sentences with capital letters, okay? I'm not your friend. You're not sending me a text message. So use complete sentences, use proper punctuation. That's how you also might lose some points on this. So make sure you're, in the same way you would do any other university assignment that you're turning in, make sure it's on point, your grammar's good, your spelling's good. Other than that, easy points. I'll show you where on the Canvas page where the discussion is on more of the instructions for the discussion board. Technical and online help. If you have any trouble, I'm probably not the first person you want to connect to. There are resources through the university that are much better equipped to help you with technical issues. The IT help desk phone number here. There is an online chat that you can get IT help with. You can send email in here if you're having an issue. That's the first place to go if you're having technical issues. Now, if you talk to IT and they tell you there's some sort of problem on my end, then please let me know and I will fix it. But IT has a lot more understanding of what might be going on and helping you solve this problem. If you respond to me first, shoot me an email, come to office hours and tell me you have this problem, I'm probably just going to refer you back to IT. They can see a lot more of what's going on and obviously have much more knowledge about these things. That's their job than I do. But if they tell you it's a problem on my end, please, by all means, let me know. All right. Oh, all right. That's the end of this little PowerPoint here. All right. Let's take a look at the class page on Canvas now. All right. Here we go. All right. Up at the very top, it says recent announcements. This is blank because I haven't sent out an announcement, at least not through Canvas yet. Once I start sending announcements out, the three most recent will be right here, and you'll also be able to click on this and go back and view any other announcements that have been made. You should be receiving these as emails. Again, if you're not getting these emails, go back to probably go into your spam folder and make sure you select that this isn't junk mail. This is something I want in my priority inbox. Office hours. We will be having some office hours through Zoom. Thursdays from 5 to 7 p.m. I will be available to talk to you through Zoom. All you do is come down right here, you click this link, and it will bring up a Zoom link. You click that on Thursdays between 5 and 7, that will connect you with me, and we'll be able to discuss and talk about whatever you need help with in this class. Office hours are part of my job, so please take advantage of those office hours if you need help, particularly since summer sessions are so compressed and so short. You know, we don't have time for misunderstanding. So if there's something you're having trouble with, if there's something you need clarification about, please come into office hours and let's talk about it. This is part of my job. I get paid for office hours. I'm not doing that as a favor. Sometimes students are so apologetic when it comes to office hours, like you're worried that you're interrupting my day. It's my job to answer your questions. So please, please, please come on into Zoom office hours. They are one-on-one. If you have a fellow classmate you would like to talk about something together, then I can let people in. But it's just one-on-one, you and me. You don't have to show your face if you don't want to. But please, come talk to me and let's get clarification and straighten some things out so you do great in this class. All right, so those are office hours. If you can't make it to that 5 to 7 on Thursdays, send me an email. There may be some other times we can connect. My schedule's a little packed, but let me know and we'll try and figure something out. Okay. This next module here, how to get started in this class. This video that I'm recording right now will be in this module. Obviously can't be there yet. I'm recording it. Okay. Here are those discussion forum instructions there. Essay rubric, essay 1 prompt, essay 2 prompt. I'll talk about those in a little while. Okay. This is information you'll need about some assignments and how to get started in this class. Okay. After that, the modules are based on days. Okay. The first day I have things assigned are for the first day of the class, Tuesday, July 5th. There are 2 recorded lectures on here. Lecture 1, Victorianism, Lecture 2, Victorianism. Okay. Do you absolutely have to watch this on Tuesday? No. Could you watch it on Wednesday? Sure. What I've done is I've tried to spread it out, these videos, for weekdays to make it more manageable, to give you a schedule of, try and do these things on these days to spread out your work. You could do it at other times, all right? But my idea is, Tuesday, let's get started. Here are the first 2 lectures you're going to watch. Okay. Along with lectures, sometimes I will give you outside material for you to watch. Our first unit is going to be on silent movies. All right. And so I give you an example of a silent movie, a blockbuster from 1903, The Great Train Robbery. It's a little 10-minute silent movie. Give you a sense of what these movies were like. Along with that, when I record my videos, I record over PowerPoint, just like I did at the beginning of this video. I also give you the raw PowerPoint if you want that, to be able to go back and look through that, maybe even print it out, who knows. So with the lectures, I also have these. That is the PowerPoint for these first 2 lectures. All right. Then the next day, Wednesday, all right, new lectures. All right. Thomas Edison, Progress and the Rise of the Movies, Part 1 and Part 2. Okay. Again, do you have to do this Wednesday? No, maybe you had a lot of time Tuesday and you were excited to the class. So Tuesday you watched the material for Tuesday, and you watched Wednesday's material. Great. You could do that. Or vice versa. You didn't do anything on Tuesday and you watched 4 lectures on Wednesday. No problem. Same thing. Gave you some other videos, outside material, a little 30-second video of Annie Oakley shooting a gun from the Edison Movie Company, a video of the Burlesque Queen, sort of showing you some of the racing material from early silent movies, and once again the PowerPoint, and so on and so forth. All right, and we continue on. Now, Friday, we get to something a little different. And that is our first discussion. Okay. Discussion is due Friday before midnight this week. Before midnight. Okay. You click on the prompt and it gives it to you. Imagine you're middle class living during the Victorian era. Which of the changes discussed in the lecture do you think would have been the most difficult adjusting to? All right, just your opinion, your reaction. You learned about all these dramatic changes happening in the Victorian period. What do you think would have been tough to deal with? There's the little reply. You reply to the initial prompt. And again, after you reply to the initial prompt, all your fellow classmates' responses will pop up, and then you will respond to one of those. Okay, so you need to do that before Friday, July the 8th. So obviously, you actually watch that material on changes in the Victorian world on Tuesday. So if Tuesday you want to answer that prompt, no problem. You head down and you do the discussion. Okay. Now below you will notice that Sunday, July 10th. Friday you're done with all the lecture material for the first week. Again, if you want to do some stuff Saturday and Sunday, you can. You can get that done. But Sunday before midnight, you have your second discussion question, discussion 2. And you'll open that up and you'll answer that. Could theoretically you do all of this the first Tuesday? Yeah, you could. You can get all that done. It'd be an awful lot, but you could get that done. All right. Now, the discussions are only open for the week that we're dealing with those. All right. So could you do all of the first week's material in one day and then try to move on and do the other discussions? No. The next discussion will be due Thursday, July 14th. That won't be open until the Saturday before that. All right. Discussion, we all need to be kind of working around the same time within the same week. Again, there's a social dimension to discussion questions. So you can't work that far ahead in terms of discussion. You can work on the first 2 weeks of lectures ahead. But I won't open up the third week until we get into into the second week. I don't want students trying to complete this class in 4 days. That doesn't work. It always happens. Bad results happen from that. So if you want to work 1 week ahead on all the lecture material, you can. But no more than that. So when you first open this class, you'll notice only the first 2 weeks are available. Work on that. And then second week, I'll open another week, and so on and so forth. Let's start getting to some important stuff. There are 3 components to your grade. Discussion is going to make up 10% of your grade. The other 2 components are going to be essays, what I title Essay 1 and Essay 2. Those will be worth 45% of your points each. I give you the prompts the first day of class, so you know what you're going to be working towards. Let's take a look at Essay 1 prompt. There it is. Okay. Let me go over it. Based on what you've learned about silent movies and swing music is our second unit that we're going to be dealing with. Answer the following prompt. Popular culture can offer important insights into cultural and societal change. Discuss 2 examples. 2 examples from each. Discuss 2 examples from both silent movies and swing music that analyze how popular culture reflected changes that were going on in American society or culture. All right. 2 from silent movies and 2 from swing music. Okay, those were our first 2 units. Silent movie, the history of silent movies, and swing music. All right. Talk about how silent movies and swing music reflected important changes that were going on in America during this time. This is an American Studies course. Okay. It's not really a popular culture appreciation course. I don't need to teach you guys how to appreciate popular culture. You guys have that wired. What we're doing in this class is we're looking at the history of American popular culture to understand important changes that were going on in society, in culture. All right? And so go back, look through the lectures. For our first unit, there's only the lectures. There's no reading. But for our next 3 units, there's books also. So you're going to be using material from the books. All right? And find examples of how silent movies and swing music reflected important changes that were going on in society. All right, now continuing on. Make sure to watch the video Essay 1 as a starting point. That's going to be in your How to Get Started, where I go in a lot more detail about what is expected of you for the first essay. All right. By the way, it holds true for the second essay also. Your response will be a 3 to 5 page, 750 to 1250 word essay. It should be 12-point font, double spaced, with 1-inch margins. Okay. You have before midnight, Friday, July 22nd, to submit your essay. Submit your essay in either Word, as a Word doc, Word 2007, or as a PDF. Those are the only 3 formats I want it in. That's to not cause trouble. Sometimes students have some sort of funky Word formatting that does not get accepted by Canvas and turn it in. So to prevent any trouble in you getting a late penalty for your paper, make sure you're saving your document in either Word or PDF. Late submissions will be downgraded 1 letter grade for every week past the deadline. Can you turn it in late? Sure you can, but there's a little bit of a penalty that comes along with turning it in late. Okay. I go in a lot more detail about what I expect for your essays in the other video. But think of it this way. Use these essays, both Essay 1 and Essay 2, as a way of showing me what you've learned in this class. That's the purpose of it. I want to know what you've learned. So write a 3 to 5 page essay in which you explain that to me. Okay? Do not use outside materials and outside research. This is not a research paper. This is about what you learned in this class. If you're using other outside information, I'm not learning what you learned in this class. That will go badly. Don't overthink this. Just do what I'm telling you to do. Use the lectures I've recorded, use the books you've read, and construct an essay using those materials to explain to me what you've learned in this class by talking about how silent movies and swing music reflected important changes that are going on. Make sure to watch the video on Essay 1 in the How to Get Started module also for this. Okay, that Essay 1 is due July 22nd, which is the Friday of 3rd week. There it is. That's where you will turn it in, here where it says Essay 1. All right. You will be able to submit it on here. My box is blank because nobody's turned anything in. You can turn it in early if you want. Okay. You don't have to turn it in that day, but try to make sure you get it done on time. Okay. The rest just continues. Now, I've scheduled this since we have 4 units. There are 4 units in this class. The first unit is on silent movies. The second unit is on swing music from the 1930s and 40s. The third unit is on comic books from the late 30s until the 1970s. And then our final unit is on women and the mass media after World War II. All right. Each book is on one of those, with the exception of the first unit where we're not reading a book. Now, the end of course material, where you have lectures and discussion requirements, ends in week 4. For the final week, for the 5th week, I don't schedule anything. And my idea was I give you the first 3 weeks to get your first essay done. You only have 2 weeks for your second essay, but you don't have anything to watch or do the 5th week. There was no way neatly to do this with 5 weeks. It's just not even. 2 doesn't divide evenly into 5, right? And so you have 3 weeks to get the first essay done, get your feet wet, learn what's expected of you, come to office hours and ask me questions if need be. And then you only have 2 weeks to finish the second essay. You've already been through it before. You should know what's expected of you by that point. And also just you don't have anything assigned for the last week. So you can spend all your time working on the second essay. All right. Now, that's Canvas. All right. Let's take a look at the syllabus. All right. So, syllabus. It's got a lot of the information we've already talked about. It's got your reading material, GE requirements and what this class fulfills, technical requirement, all that kind of stuff. Here's the grading course material. I already talked about this. There are not 4 components. There are only 3 components. I got to correct that. 3 components, 10% for your discussion responses, 45% for Essay 1 and 45% for Essay 2. Okay. I explain about online discussion. Netiquette requirements. There's this new idea of netiquette, etiquette for interacting on the internet. This is mostly about just don't be a troll to your fellow students, okay? I always worry about this, and it's never been an issue in any of my classes, but yet at the beginning of the class, I always worry about somebody being a troll and doing mean things and saying mean things. Don't do that. That will go poorly for you. Treat people in the way you would like to be treated. Treat people the way you would like loved ones in your life would be treated. Okay. Now that being said, it's okay to disagree with people on the discussion forum. In fact, I highly recommend it. If somebody writes something in the discussion that you disagree with or that you think is factually incorrect, by all means, please disagree. Correct them. But do it in a polite, constructive way. You know, for example, one way you can do something like this is, I found your response to the prompt really interesting, but I have a bit of a different take. And then you explain how, you know, like you think differently and how they might be wrong. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Learning how to constructively disagree with people is an important skill in life. We don't always agree with people. And therefore, we need to find ways in which we can disagree, but in ways that don't raise the temperature and don't needlessly offend people when it comes to that. So, by all means, disagree with people. It makes the discussion forum a bit more interesting. Okay, if every response is just, I agree with you, I 100% agree with you, I think you're right, discussion forum gets a little boring. But if you have genuine differences of opinion, or you think the person is wrong, just factually, correct them. State your opinion. Okay, nothing wrong with that. Okay, that's the netiquette requirements. Just don't be a troll. All right. I talk about Essay 1 and Essay 2 in there. And the rest of it is the class schedule, which is basically the same thing that's laid out in on the Canvas homepage there. All right. So that is the nature of the class. I always look forward to teaching pop culture. I'm looking forward to doing it this short little summer session. We only have 5 weeks. That's really not that much time, as I'm sure all of you are aware. So jump into this class feet first. Get started. There's no time to delay. If you have questions, you can always get in touch with me through email. You can get in touch with me during office hours. I'm more than happy to get you guys squared away. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.